Now, the political fate of Tasmania's Liberal Premier and the state's AFL team hangs in the balance this morning, with debate set to resume on a no-confidence motion against Jeremy Rockliff. The political uncertainty in the Apple Isle has triggered tears and fears for the Devils, given the AFL licence is tied to contentious plans for a new stadium.
The Greens, key backers of the no-confidence motion, are staunchly opposed to the near billion-dollar proposal. Jano Gibson joins us now live from Hobart. Jano, good morning. So can Jeremy Rockliff survive this motion in Parliament today?
Look, it's looking very likely that he will no longer have the confidence of the House by the end of today. So yesterday, Labor leader Dean Winter brought on this motion of no confidence for three reasons, one being the bad state of the budget, another being the government's plans to privatise state-owned assets, and the third reason being the bungling of some critical infrastructure projects. And debate on the motion got underway at 10 o'clock yesterday morning. It continued through till 7:30 last night. A decision was made to adjourn matters until today, so things will kick off again at 10 o'clock in the morning. We've had 19 of the MPs speak on the matter so far, so still 15 or 16 if the Speaker also puts her views forward. So we expect that at some point in the afternoon that this will be put to a vote, but it is anticipated that Labor has the numbers with the support of the Greens and three crossbenchers. And if that does happen, there are a number of scenarios that could play out, including that Jeremy Rockliff goes to the Government House and request an early election. Alternatively, the Lieutenant Governor could require the Liberals to choose a new leader and test their support on the floor of Parliament, or see if Labor leader Dean Winter can garner enough support to form a minority government.
So, Jano, what does this political uncertainty mean then for that proposed Hobart Stadium and then the future of an AFL team in Tasmania?
Yeah, so the AFL has stipulated that the new Tasmania Devils team is contingent on the construction of a roofed stadium at Macquarie Point near the Hobart CBD, and Parliament was set to decide over the coming 6 or so weeks as to whether or not they would issue a permit for the stadium. But now that we're in a situation where there could be a new Premier, or indeed there could be an election called, it's really unclear what will happen with the stadium. At the very least, a decision will be delayed. At worst, it might mean that the stadium doesn't go ahead at all. And so the anxiety relating to the uncertainty was seen yesterday. You saw some of that vision earlier of the general manager of the Tasmania Devils team. She broke down in tears during a press conference when she was contemplating the prospect that the dream of having an AFL team in the future may not actually become a reality. And we have also heard from the CEO of the Tasmania Devils, Brendan Gale. Here's a little of what he had to say.
The more they understand how to unlock a whole range of other financial, economic, social, cultural benefits, the more people are open to sort of changing their minds and supporting of it. And so, you know, there's some uncertainty at the moment, but we're very, very optimistic about the future.
So Brendan Gale there, exuding a certain amount of confidence despite a lot of the uncertainty that surrounds the political situation here in Tasmania and what that could mean for the Tasmania Devils and the stadium going forward.
Yeah, Jano Gibson will be watching on keenly. Thank you.
We're going to take you to some breaking news now out of Queensland, where the housemate of missing teenager Phoebe Bishop has been released from custody without charge. Our reporter Johanna Marie joins us now from Bundaberg. Johanna, good morning. What's the latest?
An interesting development in this case of missing teenager Phoebe Bishop. Police yesterday arrested her housemate, 34-year-old James Wood, and he spent a number of hours late into last night being questioned here at the police station over her disappearance. Police now this morning confirming he's been released without charge. They do say their investigation is continuing and they're following up on several lines of inquiry. Now, James Wood told police that he dropped Phoebe Bishop to the Bundaberg airport on the morning of the 15th of May. She was supposed to be catching a flight to Western Australia to visit her boyfriend, but she never made it into the Bundaberg terminal. Today does mark 3 weeks since the teenager's disappearance. Her family and the Bundaberg community is desperate for answers. Police are appealing for any information relating to a grey Hyundai that was seen driving in the greater Gin area between the dates of May 15 and May 18 to contact police.
All right, Johanna, thank you for that, and we'll bring you more on that story throughout the day here on the ABC. It's been a big night in the Northern Territory as well, hasn't it, Charles?
Yeah, it certainly has, James. Hundreds of people came together outside Darwin Parliament House last night for a vigil for Kumanjayi White. The 24-year-old died last week in Alice Springs after he was restrained by a plainclothes police officer at a Coles supermarket. Attendees called for an independent investigation into Kumanjayi White's death, saying that NT Police have lost the trust of the people of Yuendamu. It's one of many vigils being held around the country in what's been declared a National Week of Justice for Yuendamu. Lawyers for accused triple murderer Erin Patterson have indicated they'll likely conclude questioning her this morning before prosecution begins its cross-examination. She's accused of murdering 3 relatives by serving them a beef Wellington containing death cap mushrooms in July 2023. Yesterday, Miss Patterson told the court she may have accidentally added foraged wild mushrooms to the meal. She's pleaded not guilty and maintains the deaths were an accident. Northern Territory's Chief Minister says nothing gets in the way of Territory Day after confirming tons of fireworks caught up in the cross-border dispute are on their way. Last month, fireworks bound for the NT for the July 1 Cracker Night were seized by New South Wales authorities. Leah Finocchiaro says they're now on their way through Queensland, thanking the premiers of both states for seeing the light. Territory Day is the only time Australians can legally buy and use fireworks.
I was diagnosed with early breast cancer.
British pop star Jessie J has revealed she's been diagnosed with early breast cancer. The 37-year-old price tag singer, whose real name is Jessica Ellen Cornish, said she had a surgery planned after the Summertime Ball, a music event being held at Wembley Stadium on June 15.
I'm highlighting the word early. Cancer sucks in any form, but I'm holding on to the word early.
A flock of clever cockies in Western Sydney are no bird brains, learning how to use public drinking fountains. Researchers observed more than 500 attempts over 44 days, with the sulphur-crested cockatoo successful 46% of the time. That's not good enough for some of our colleagues here, the ecologists, adding the birds weren't using the fountains out of necessity, as there is a creek just a few hundred metres away. And a shopkeeper in Thailand was forced to address the elephant in the room after it strolled from a nearby national park and began helping itself to produce on their shelves. The peckish pachyderm helped itself to 9 bags of sweet rice crackers, a sandwich and some bananas. In total, it was worth about $40. But after about 10 minutes, hastily summoned rangers managed to shoo him out safely. He left behind a little damage, but in this case, the elephant did forget to pay.